Late in the evening, 19th July 1969, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi has announced the nationalization of 14 state-owned banks, and this particular move has contributed immensely towards her popularity. But half a century later, what changed the government's mindset to bring a bill to the floor of the House to privatize these set of public sector banks? Hello and welcome to Knowledgist, and I am Pravanjan Tripathi, and I will decode government's agenda behind bank privatization. First things first, what is privatization? As you know that government is having more than 51% stake in these state-owned banks, and government wants to introduce a bill to sell the stake way below 51% as and when it is required. Why there is a need of a bill? Because there are two existing bills which requires to be amended before selling the stake in these public sector bank. First one is the Banking Regulation Act, second one is the Banking Companies Act, especially Acquisition and Transfer of Undertaking Act 1970 and 1980 subsequently. So what will be its adverse impact? It will raise the crony capitalism in this country, but the first impact which is going to be felt will be felt by its employees or the employees of these public sector banks. They will feel cheated, they will feel betrayed because they have prepared hard. It is not easy to crack a job in public sector bank. It is unlike the job in private banks. In private banks, with a mere reference or by just walk-in, you can get a job. If you assure them, you can do a good sales. But on the contrary, here you need to prepare day and night to crack this job. The success rate is way below 1%, not 1%, way below 0.05 or even less than that. High competition, high mental stress is required to be dealt with for preparing these kind of jobs. So they will feel cheated. Second, they have left some more paying, some good paying career like in IT sector, etc., to join these public sector banks. There is a opportunity loss for these people. Okay, may government give you job guarantee for upcoming 1 and 2 years, but that is not enough. Anyway, should you now prepare for these banks? At any point of time, these set of banks are not going to change their work culture for coming 10 years, even if they are privatized today. So, and that is way ahead of the work culture in private bank, which is completely worse. We have no hesitation in saying that, right? So it is your own call. You can still prepare for these jobs. And yes, there is a high disparity in salary. Some of you are asking me whether after the privatization there will be a salary hike. Not immediately. You know that in private banks, in lower level, the salary is low, whereas at this lower and mid level, salary is high in public sector bank. But at higher level or above mid level, the salary, there is a high disparity among the salary structure of public sector and private sector. Public sector salaries are capped. In private sector, it is very high, very huge. So it's your own call. And do they will privatize all banks all of a sudden? No, they will spare banks like State Bank of India and those who are giving them a good amount of profit. At the end, government is doing everything for profit generation. Government is doing for capital inflow. And yes, banks that are generating profit, they are giving a good sum of dividend to the government of India. So government may not bother to privatize State Bank of India or big banks. If yes, in case there will be another round of big merger, big banks will be spared, will be left out from the privatization. As of now, we know that there are two banks which could be privatized, that is Indian Overseas Bank and Central Bank of India. And after that, we don't have any iota of information about the names, suggested names for privatization. Thank you once again for being with us, for loving us, for staying with us, and for subscribing us. If you have not done so, you can still do it right now. Subscribe button is below this video. Thank you once again for your love, support and time.